Welcome to Season 10 of CX in the Wild. 10 seasons of conversations with the visionaries who are reshaping the world, one experience at a time. This season, we go further into the minds of those who challenge the status quo and reimagine what's possible. And now, the adventure continues.
All right, welcome back to CX in the Wild. No introductions really necessary. Ladislau is here with me from ICXI. Ladislau and I have been partnered for a couple of years on international standards for customer experience, and that's a really big topic. You know, there are a lot of certifications out there, but what's missing in the world, it's not about an individual, it's not about a particular aspect or genre of CX. The reason most companies fail to implement CX is because there's just too many different kinds of expertise. And so I've been working with Ladislau on the ideas and the thinking behind international standards, but Ladislau and his company, ICXI, have already established many standards in Dubai. Dubai has a happiness metric. It is a government and a part of the world that cares about experiences, standardization, and they must, because of the incredible development and innovation growth of Dubai, it makes total sense why process, design thinking, and standards for customer experiences would emanate from this side of the world. So with that introduction, Ladislau, thank you for being here today.
It's always a pleasure to meet you and to partner with you. So you are so right. So going straight to the point. So that's what we feel is we are based. Actually, the institute is UK born and is based in UK. But since the institute started developing in the Dubai and in the Emirates, all the support and all the vision from the government itself took most of our attention. So today we are a global organization with partners all over the world, but most of our activities in the Middle East, because like you said, and rightly, is the government is the first one to drive the care for people and for the citizen experience. So the citizen experience, the centers, they are even called happiness centers. Everything is going even to digital very smoothly. So that's interesting. And when you look around the world, we see that there is a lack of this understanding, or people, they get very biased by their vision or by the moment their company is. Like you said, there is the customer experience is very wide. Sometimes it's a very fluffy name, but then you can onboard in customer experience because the experience itself is a long journey. It brings everybody on board. And sometimes some companies, they are so biased by the moment they are, or by their market, or by their country, that they think that the right way is always looking, for example, for digital transformation. For you, or the moment that you are struggling, or that your vision is a digital transformation, you forget about HR, or about people, or about customer care. So all these are parts of the same experience. So what happened is the moment you are biased, you are leaving behind something that is important for the customer.
That's right.
And so at the end, you are impacting the experience.
And it's non-standardized. And
Right.
And what I find is, so when people ask me what customer experience really is, what I try to explain is customer experience is the new business operating system for a global economy. Anywhere you introduce the business design thinking practices of CX into an organization or a government, what it does is it transforms or changes the hierarchy into a shared authority model that's distributed, that creates agility. It opens the door for innovation. It becomes more efficient. It becomes less redundant. It becomes less administrative. And so where companies who see this design thinking appear, it's great for their organizations, but one person who's great at it in one organization cannot necessarily transfer it to the next organization because of the lack of standards. Right. And so that's why I'm so behind what you're doing at ICXI is standardizing a common way of thinking. It's not the common way of doing, it's the common way of thinking across all of these different aspects. In that way, it unifies organizations to move from a old localized, nationalistic economy to a global economy. And there are ways to certify or standardize every person in an organization, as well as the entire organization itself and into the government. So it's so exciting to be talking to you. Now, before the tape started rolling, I was very excited because you're just on the verge now of enabling small to medium-sized businesses at scale. I'm very excited because in 2025, I'm going to roll these standards out across the United States. But do you want to talk a little bit about these new standards?
Right. So that comes to your point. What happened is the importance of a standard is not the certificate or just to get a beautiful stamp. Is the standard is behind a framework that is based on the maturity of the company. So the standard itself is a benchmark. The heart of the standard is to you to do a self-assessment, to do your maturity check. It's score-based. So you have like a scoring and you are checking how you are standing against the standard that is the benchmark. So at the end of the day, the most important is this experience that the companies, they understand where they are missing, and then it converts in a scoring perspective that it even can allow benchmarks. So what we found out that this was missing for companies, but usually you target for corporates or for big organizations, that they are the ones that are very well organized and they have departments. When most of your economy that impacts the customers are the SMEs.
That's right.
Small and medium enterprises are 90 or 95% of the customer experience.
That's right.
So, and then you go to these startups or you go to these incubators and you are all about platforms, you're all about marketing, all about product, and nothing about experience and customer experience. So when these guys, they have to face the customer, maybe they are doing the wrong way. So that's why we thought, okay, we have to expand all our framework in a way that SMEs can use it as well. So we are very excited about it because it's not rocket science. At the end of the day, it's a maturity check as well.
Yes.
But adequated to the right size of small, medium enterprises. By the way, they are more agile. They are more fast to decide.
Yes.
They don't have to put 20 people around the table to agree on a process. Only 2 or 3 guys maybe they can do it because they have to survive and they have to be successful to be competitive and to increase their business. So people take decisions very fast and they implement things very fast. So I think that the standard for the SMEs, it will be a game changer as well.
I think it will be. And I'll tell you that I was in, I think, where was I? Berlin recently. And somebody there taught me this very interesting thing. They were saying that one of the ways that they know whether an organization is ready for CX or not is by the profit margin. And I was like, what? And she said, commodities, businesses where they can't compete on price or product. They have small, tight margins. Experience is where they can win against their competitors. You take a company that sells like life insurance with a giant margin, they have no incentive to create change or create better experiences. And so small to medium-sized businesses have to compete. Most of them, at least in the US, go out of business in the first 2 years. So if you don't have some sort of certification in the first 2 years on experiences, you're going to be left behind by all of the other companies that start to standardize around experiences. I can see this impacting tourism tremendously, restaurants, all kinds of different businesses, industries. So I'm very excited to roll it out in the US in 2025. And I'll tell you the other thing is I'm just going to throw it out here. Ladislau, we're here, we're in Dubai. It's CX in the wild. We're just going to talk about anything. In January, we're going to be working on the first basic fundamental certifications for the individual in the call centers so that call center agents can now be unified by a single standard worldwide, an ICXI basic standard that we're going to roll out in some schools and in some training facilities. So now when you look around the world, you'll be able to see who at least has completed the micro learning courses necessary to collaborate fairly and equally around the entire world. So I think it's a really exciting time for us in standards.
That's amazing, because as small, for example, a medium organization, if they are not aware of the customer experience, they will find out that sooner or later that people, they compare them with the big ones. Because you compare the supermarket network that I go here to buy, I compare the delivery with the Amazon delivery. So you compare always with the benchmarks. So if you're not ready for this, you'll have a problem. The same with individuals. Individuals, they are very fast learners. They are these days, people, they learn in a very fast way. So to make people more competitive and to this micro learning is the way, is where you can increase their competences in a way that people, they learn in their own pace, but what is essential for them. You cannot expect to people that is an individual that is from, for example, from the call center career, that this guy will take 60 hours or 100 hours program to evolve in his skills. He wants to do it immediately and he is ready to do it. So you have to offer them that possibility. So I'm so happy that we can also, through the Institute, together in this collaboration as well with Dennis, to make sure that we offer to these people a way that they can do it in their own pace, in the learning that they are already ready for them and they're already using it. So let's not waste time with things that they are not applicable to the different people.
That's right. And letting people learn in micro learning styles lets them go, to your point, at their own pace. I can't tell you how many HR forced trainings I've been through in corporations where everybody knows we're just like trying to get to the answers, like fast forward, double speed, just get me through this checkbox. Did I learn anything? Maybe, but did I care about it all? No, because what I was trying to do was find the 3 minutes of the thing that I didn't know. And microlearning lets me check the boxes really fast. I can get certified or advance my skills certification 1, 2, 3, 4 as fast as I want. And I think what's really great about the way we're rolling this out is on the back end, we can let businesses look at all of the students, all of the learners, and see who are the accelerated learners. Identify who are the high performers or the ones who really want this. And I think if we're wise, we'll eventually roll this out to corporations. I could see giant corporations just saying, could everybody just get basic skills certification number 1 just so we can see across the organization? It'd be easy. People could do it while they're standing in line at the bank or the grocery. So I think the future of CX, and I always ask people, what do you think the future of CX is? If you ask me, the future of CX and the global economy and competitiveness and learning and GDP for a lot of smaller countries is all going to be reliant on a standardized system of CX. And I think ICXI, and I think we're going to do our very best to recreate the success in Dubai and the innovation that happens here and teach that to the rest of the world. I think the world's hungry for it.
Yeah, we are sure that it will be amazing for everyone. From going back even to the micro learning, sometimes people, they want to be supported in the way they take their decisions, and they want to take decisions fast. So you cannot put someone in training or in a course that takes like 1 year, and the guy at the end finds out that is not what he wants to do, that is not what he likes. You have to allow people to take their decisions supported in the right way, but they can see after maybe 2 or 3 sessions that is not the career path that they want to do. So you don't have to make them waste time in their lives, or maybe their opportunities in the next door. So I think this will make people also be more supported that they are now, because sometimes we are always narrowing down the road for people to ways that sometimes they don't need it, or it's not even the right for them.
You are 100% right. So I was in Jordan for a week meeting with universities, government officials, and there is a lot of talk around the world about what we're making humans do for their jobs. And you're exactly right. There is what people are good at and what they want to do does not align enough in the world with what their employment is. And that's why in America, I mean, it almost makes me nauseous how much I have to listen to people talk about work-life balance. Like people are constantly like, I need my work-life balance and I need this, and they're whining about it. And all I'm really thinking to myself is, why don't you do a job you want to do? Like me, I work 20 hours a day. Yes, I'm tired sometimes, okay? But I never wake up. I used to every Sunday night when I went to bed, just like hate myself for the job I was going to have to go do. And I used to just hate it. And then now I work 20 hours a day. I sleep, I wake up, I'm like ready to go. And there is a true saying, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And what these platforms, these standardized standards do, like you said, is allow us to find what we're good at. Perfect example for me, my washing machine broke. And I was like, I don't need to call anybody. I'll just get on YouTube, Google this part, and figure it out. I watched one video, took the washing machine apart, no problem. Watched the second video, got the O-ring out. Watched a third video and was like, no, I'm not going to be able to do this. Called the guy who knew how to do it. But I was able to, within a couple of lessons, figure out I'm not a plumber.
Right.
But what if I would have figured out I could do it? I mean, I would have had a whole second career.
Life changer, you're right.
Yeah, so I think these global standards are really perfect. And so these global standards are so important, but we've talked now about the micro learning that we're going to start rolling out for the call center industry in Africa, where I think it's going to have a huge impact on 500,000 unemployed people. We've talked about the rolling out of the small to medium-sized business. It's really an assessment, a benchmarking, a maturity test. It gives you insights, but it also trains you and lets you get certified to work better in an industry. But then from there, it gets more complex. Let's talk about some of these other certifications as it gets more mature.
Yeah, so wider companies or organizations that are with a global footprint or bigger, so the standard gets more complex because organizations, they are more complex. So, and at the end of all this processing, the standards, the framework that supports the standard goes deeply in a lot of evidences and a lot of practices. All this is based on what the companies they are doing and what they should be doing to improve the experience that they deliver to their customers. So at the end of the day, at the end of these, what we call standards that are the customer experience, digital customer experience and employee happiness standards, the last mile is certified by a certification body. So you call on board one of these big ones like BSI or Bureau Veritas or TÜV, that they come and they check, because the organizations, they used to work like that. So as they do for any other process with the ISOs or any of these. So for bigger organizations, the Institute provides these frameworks and standards for their size. And we have more than 200 in the world already certified with these standards. As well, we have also since October, so you see, the micromanagement will allow us to cover as well people that is very important for the experience. But the Institute also provides an MSc, the Masters in Customer Experience and Service Excellence in UK, based out of Scotland. That can be, students can come from anywhere in the world, they can even do it online. So just for someone that in his career feels that should have an academical degree recognized, so to bring also involvement and to bring contributions to our ecosystem of CX. So we are working all these fronts. So from the micromanagement, from the micro learning, SMEs, large corporations, education, because at the end of the day, it's like the channels. These days you have omni-channel and you have companies, they offer a lot of channels, right? You don't see channels disappearing. We see people choosing whatever they want to. So it's on the people's side to decide what is the channel that suits them better. In the morning, maybe I will call from the car. In the afternoon, I want to work from my laptop. At night, I do the same in my smartphone in the sofa. It's on my side to decide. So that's what is with CX. You have also to offer people different solutions that they can take. If I'm a small company, let me look at this maturity check that I can do with a standard certification for SMEs. If I'm a big one, I'll take the other one. If I'm a guy that I want to change my career and I just want to try something different, I do like this micro learning, or I'm already started and I'm not sure. I do some micro learning and I see how I will evolve. And the companies maybe will contact me. They maybe have some characteristics, even from the psychological side, that I'm not even aware of, that I'm very strong on those. So these are ways also to help people to find the best for themselves and for their companies, from the smallest to the biggest. Because that's how our world is like that.
That's just
diversified. So we have diversified world. So we have.
Yes, but what I love about it is we're literally applying the best of customer experience strategies to the people. We're making it personalized, letting them find their own way, delivering value at each touch point, adapting to their learning styles, their channels, behaviors. What I do like about the higher and where you started with the enterprise level certifications, and what I've always found admirable about it is in your large enterprise certifications, you don't get certified unless the senior management is aligned and gets certified. If you don't have alignment across the leadership, then you don't get this. You're not certified in CX. You can't go around and say you're great at customer experience if you have a bunch of your board members or C-suite people misaligned. And I love that.
Right. By our standards, it's even impossible to get a certification if the top management is not involved and if the strategy doesn't come as well from the board. So the standard itself, in the checklist of the standard, one of the things that checks is that does the board members discuss some of these KPIs every month? Does the board member knows about the certification? Did they appoint someone in the organization to be the liaison officer? So all of this is part of the standard. So if the top management is not involved, the company will never deliver customer experience. So it's useless even to try to call for the standard, because the standard will not be possible for them.
That's right, which is why it's so important. We have a big year. I think 2025 is going to be a very critical year for standardization. I think the world is accelerating in their need because of AI and what's happening, the need to adapt quickly. We do not have a 100-hour, 50-hour, 40-hour, 20-hour time frame anymore to adapt. And so I'm very excited. So we're going to be rolling out in Africa the micro certifications. Then we're going to roll out in the US. I'm going to roll out in the US the ICXI standards for the small businesses. I think you have like 28 other countries, right, that you're going to be rolling out these standards across. So you will see a worldwide effort for SME standardization. And of course, large corporations who are ready, which many are not, but those who are ready to declare themselves fit for the global economy should be looking into these standards. It's been a pleasure, as always, talking to you, and I'm always happy. I'm sorry I missed you in Lisbon. I'm sorry I missed you in Berlin.
We always meet at the end of the day, and I'm like you. I'm very excited about all of this and counting the days to 2025, and we are saying like in 25 we're going to launch, and wow, I'm just saying like how many days?
Yeah.
So I'm already excited about it. So let's do it. It will be an amazing year for sure.
All right. Well, thanks for showing up on the podcast so we can announce this.
Thank you.
Thank you for being part of this journey with us. We hope these conversations challenge your thinking and inspire you to explore new paths. There's so much more to discover. Keep listening. Dive into more episodes, and let's continue this adventure together.